me like an overview of one of these stories. Like, what is happening in them? Because I think they look interesting, but I have yet to be able to go through one.
Yeah, so I'll talk about one that, as of the time of this recording, it hasn't come out yet, but it's going to be out tomorrow. So I'm assuming this will be out probably, a while after that video's out. So anyways, it's a story about a man named Jesse Pinegar who disappeared on the, my brain's not working, Kauai Trail. The Hawaii names are a little tricky for me sometimes. Kauai Trail, that one I mentioned at the top of the episode here.
So in Hawaii.
In Hawaii, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I went and hiked this trail a couple weeks ago, and it's a pretty like notorious trail. Like there's like some really steep cliffs. Like that's kind of what it's most famous for, is like there's these sections of trail where it's just like a straight drop right into the ocean. Like it's not technically hard. Like the trail itself, it's not like you're climbing up and over stuff or, dodging things. Like it's pretty easy trail, but it's just a very, steep penalty if you misstep, I guess. And there's some dangerous, and there's some dangerous river crossings and some beaches along the trail that are kind of dangerous, or actually very dangerous because of the currents and stuff. But anyways, so it's a pretty gnarly trail. And in 2008, there was a guy named Jesse Pinegar who just disappeared on the trail, and his family found out about a campsite he had left like a few weeks, I believe, after he had gone missing. And there's been no sign of him ever since then. And one of the coolest things about this new series I've started on my channel is that, not for all of them, but for a number of them, I've gotten to like actually talk to the families of these people, and they're always so appreciative, which is awesome. And it gives me a chance to like ask them what they want me to include in the video and stuff. Anyways, I talked pretty extensively with Jesse Pinegar's sister, and the family, this is just their side. This is where we stray a little bit from the hiking aspect of it, but the family was very insistent that the police in Kauai like didn't really care very much about his case, or didn't even really try to help or anything like that. And so they were so appreciative that like 15 years later, I was like giving them like a platform to kind of like tell their story and like help raise more awareness about what happened to, Jesse. So that was really cool. But I'm not surprised that someone went missing on that trail, because like I said, it's just, if you're an experienced hiker, you'd be fine on it. But I just feel like it was more like high stakes than a lot of other trails that I've done. Like there's just less room for error, I guess, if that makes sense. Like you would be fine as long as you're careful, but if you're not careful, that's where things can go wrong. And a lot of people have died on that trail due to all the various factors that I just mentioned a minute ago.
So you're really just becoming a PI. You're just starting to investigate.
No, I'm not investigating anything. I'm just telling the stories, and maybe someday, probably not, but maybe someone will watch one of my videos and that will spur their memory or something, and they'll be able to help one of these stories or help solve one of these cases. Very unlikely, but that'd be a dream, I guess, a pipe dream. So we'll see. Yeah. If it ever does happen, you'll definitely hear me bragging about it.
So some of these, are they murderers or are they just missing cases?
Some of them are murders. Some of them are missing. They're all hiking related. So this isn't like they're always going to be hiking related. I'm a hiking nerd, and so I'm never going to stray away from that aspect of it. But just I've covered a bunch of different things. Yeah, like people who have been murdered. People, who have gone missing on various trails. I've even covered a few that are just like strange, maybe not quite as serious. Like, I did a video about the 12 tribes cults and like their relation to the Appalachian Trail and how they kind of like target hikers on the AT, which is something I kind of witnessed a little bit on my thru hike. And then just other like various stuff. I'd like to find more mystery.
Now I gotta ask, what the heck is the 12 tribes cult?
You haven't heard about that before?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so on the AT, 12 tribes is like, some most people, at least on the trail, refer to them as a cult. And so that's how I referred to them in my video, which turns out did offend some people, but that's how they're most often viewed. And they have a hostel. They're like a religious, it's really weird. Like, again, I'm not an expert on them. Pretty much all I know is just from my experience, what I witnessed on the AT. And then of course I did do quite a bit of research for that video, but they're like a religious group, but it's like, they're like hippies too. It's really weird. Like when you think of like a religious kind of fundamentalist group, you don't picture them also having like hippie vibes, but it's like a mix between that. It's very bizarre. Not really my cup of tea. And there's been like some controversy in relation to like the way that they treat their children and the women. And like, it's not like super clear. Like there's no like super clear cut controversy. I mean, there kind of is, but like they haven't really been like convicted of anything, at least in the United States. But like they don't have a great reputation either. I'll let people make that judgment for themselves if you want to do more research. But like, anyways, the way it relates to the AT is they have a hostel in Rutland, Vermont, which is an AT town, and they let hikers stay there for free. You can give like a donation or whatever. And then my understanding, it didn't happen to me, to be clear, but my understanding is that I don't know how they make this judgment, but some people will be approached when they're staying there and asked to come, leave the trail and go to this like farm they have. And then they'll try to like get you to stay, I guess, and like, so it's kind of a recruitment tool basically is kind of targeting hikers like that and drawing them in with this free hostel. So it's a little bit bizarre. I know they go to like trail days, and I've heard also just from the comments on my video about it, people say they're present on other trails too, although I haven't, noticed that myself. So I don't know. It's a little bizarre. They make good food though. I'll say that.
They make good food.
They do. They have a deli attached to the hostel, and the sandwiches are banging.